Hello, welcome to this episode on Mickey Mills Football Hub. Today we are going to talk about Manchester United's transfer news, transfer rumors, and all. The left wing position. Who is the realistic player to come into that left wing? With Summerville being touted to come there as a strong candidate, and equally Rashford situation at Manchester United. Then going deep into the midfielders that we are going after, that United are going after, and the midfielders that they are missing out from. And before we dive into what I have for you today, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, and equally don't forget to hit the notification icon so that you will always get our videos once I drop any. So let's go deeper into what we have today. So Marcus Rashford is officially back at Manchester United after having a very superb season for Barcelona, where he scored 14 goals and 14 assists in about 49 games. And at the end of the day, Barcelona opted against signing him on a permanent deal with 30 million euros buy option, rather wanting to take him again on a season-long loan, which Manchester United has vetoed against. They have told them if you want to sign him, he has a release clause, because currently Marcus Rashford has a release clause of £40 million in his contract, which is active for clubs outside of Manchester City and Liverpool. So if anybody wants to sign Marcus Rashford currently, it's either you sign him on a straight signing or on a loan with non-conditional obligation to buy. But what about Marcus Rashford? What does he want? Obviously, he wants to leave Manchester United, and even the club don't want to keep him, and he wants to go far away from England. If he has to stay in England, then he will have to honor his contract at Manchester United until 2028. So it's really it's going to be a long hassle trying to find a club for him. But currently, he's focusing on at the World Cup. After the World Cup, he will be coming back for preseason. Then during the preseason, I think his future will be decided with some clubs being linked to him, like Bayern Munich and the rest of them. So, but who is now the option that Manchester United are looking at to come in as the left wing option? Because we've heard a lot of things that Manchester United wants to prioritize a left winger over a left back. Some say that Manchester United wants to prioritize a left back over a left winger. But at the end of the day, as of today, David Ornstein came out to drop a bomb that Manchester United are actually going after Crysencio, Summerville of West Ham. And looking at this guy, he's a very exciting option. I've said before that I want Manchester United to sign a very explosive winger, a dribbling player, a player that is direct and meets player one on one, and that is the profile that Manchester United needs. In as much as Kunha can fall into that category, but we need another option for that wing. So looking at this guy in 34 games at West Ham, he had 7 goals and 5 assists, which is quite decent for the kind of season that West Ham had. And this guy was the main reason why West Ham were relegated early on in the season. He kept them him and a couple of other players. And so Somerville might most definitely want to join Manchester United. He has a valuation of about £50 million, which I'm still looking at, viewing as maybe there might still be negotiations around there to try to beat it down. But for me, I will welcome Somerville at Manchester United as an option. In as much as he's a winger that likes to drift in. He's not like an out and out winger that stays on the touchline. He likes to carry the ball, then cut in and do something like an inverted winger, just like Kunha is doing out there already. And if you look at his skills, if you look at his strength, you will see a player who can dribble, can score goals, and is deadly on one-on-one, especially in transitions. Manchester United plays more of transition football, so his profile matches what Michael Carrick might be building for the club by next season. So Manchester United are currently in conversations with Mateus Fernandes, with West Ham over Mateus Fernandes, and equally Crysencio, Summerville. So looking at the midfield situation at Manchester United, we all know that Manchester United has been in conversation with West Ham and equally Judge Mendes, the agent of Mateus Fernandes, over the signing of Mateus Fernandes. And it is viewed that the personal terms shouldn't be a problem. And looking at that profile of midfielder, Manchester United data analyst has already broken down, compared him to Elliot Anderson, who was Manchester United's priority signing coming into the summer transfer window, and they've brought out some data that he is not far off Elliot Anderson in stats and in skill set. Even there are some areas of the play that is better than Elliot Anderson. So after everything, they arrived at going after him as a priority. But looking at him now coming into the team as the, should I call him a number 6 or a number 8? But he should be a number 6, because Kobe Meno is obviously the number 8 at the team. That will leave us with only 3 midfielders. That is if he's being signed as the conversations progress. That will leave us with only 3 midfielders: Ederson, Meno, and Mateus Fernandes. So that will still leave us light in midfield compared to the number of games that Manchester United will be playing next season. So that brings me to an option for a third midfielder. And who is this third midfielder that I'm talking about? At the end of the day, it might come down to Carlos Baleba. Yes. News reports came out that Carlos Baleba has already started talking to some Manchester United players behind the scenes. He knows Lenny Yoro. They played together in France. He knows him very well. He knows he's made friends with some of Manchester United senior players. Even after Manchester United played Brighton at the end of the season, he was seen communicating with Manchester United players. So, and Manchester United already has a personal terms agreed with him on the table, and he's still active, he's still on the table. So the only thing that they need to do for that deal is to go straight and agree deal with Brighton and bring him in. He only wants Manchester United, and he's patiently waiting for Manchester United. But for Manchester United, they want to sell Manuel Logard before they move over for the third midfield signing. And looking at Carlos Baleba, the option that I just raised, he still has a question mark looking at his last season. His last season performance was so poor. He didn't perform at the height that he performed during the previous season that made Manchester United to want to sign him, to want to spend about 75 million pounds on him. Not just that Brighton refused and wanted 100 million and above. So, do you guys think that Carlos Baleba will be a better option for our midfield? Because we are short of options currently. I wouldn't want Manchester United to go for Alex Scott. Carlos Baleba might be a better option compared, because Alex Scott, I see him as a number 8. I don't see him as a holding midfielder, as a number 6. But if we can sign Carlos Baleba, he will be the only confirmed number 6 that we've signed this summer. Mateus Fernandes, looking at his profile, he can play as a number 8 and equally as a number 6. But even Ederson can play as a number 6 and as a number 8. But Carlos Baleba will be the only player whose primary position and whose favorite position remains the number 6 position, and his press resistance equally. So that is still hanging up with question marks. That is left for Jesse Wilcox and his team to decide on who they are going for as the third midfielder, because the club certainly needs 3 new midfielders going into the next season. For the left back position, Manchester United are targeting Lewis Hall to come and battle it out with Luke Shaw, because looking at Luke Shaw, he shouldn't be the reliable option, the only reliable option for that position by next season. I'm not even seeing him as a reliable option for that position. I'm seeing him as a player that should be at best a squad player by next season, being the last season on his contract. So Manchester United are looking at Lewis Hall to bring him in to capitalize on the issues that he's having with Eddie Howe of Newcastle, because he has an issues with him with the way he handled the ending of the season, which caused him to miss out on the World Cup. So he wants to leave Newcastle. Manchester United are looking at that deal. It might cost up to £50 million. But let's see how that goes. So to close this video, I'll be talking about Sandro Tonali. What about Sandro Tonali? He's a midfielder that I've always admired for Manchester United midfield. And at the end of the day, Manchester United deemed him too expensive to move on with. And why is he really expensive? Newcastle wants a fee of about £100 million or even more for the guy, and he is equally on over £200,000 weekly wages, which makes him expensive for Manchester United, because they have a particular wage structure that they don't want to alter in any way at any point. Not that they wouldn't be giving over £200,000 to any player, but at least you must come into the club and show and prove your worth to the club for them to extend your contract and improve your pay. So currently, they are not pursuing any deal for Sandro Tonali, which leaves Tottenham to come into the conversation. But I have a very quick question to ask, because even while believing that he's too expensive, I equally saw reports that Manchester United are not scared of spending big on a player, but they want the player to at first accept or make it publicly known that he wants to join just Manchester United. But looking at Tottenham now coming into the deal, moving on, advancing in conversation with Sandro Tonali, I started asking myself, what exactly is wrong with Manchester United? Because you need to show some level of ambitious in the market. Show some level of ambitiousness in the market. Show that you can go after big players like we did last summer. We were more ambitious last summer than without European football than what I'm seeing now, even with European football, with the Ultimate Champions League. So we need to be more ruthless in the market. Attack every situation. Don't wait until the player says it openly that he wants to join the team. You need to attack every situation until it is not possible for you to sign, because even a 5% possibility is still possible. Remember when we signed Casemiro? At first, it didn't look possible, but that little percentage of possibility still made the deal possible. That is the Manchester United that we need to be seeing, not going in to spend ridiculous amount on a player that is not worth it. But once in a while, you can spend. Manchester United has never closed a deal for £100 million. They have never done that. But let's watch out and see the options that we end up with at the end of the season. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you want Manchester United to sign out of all these players? And what do you feel about the possibility of signing Crysencio, Summerville, Mateus Fernandes, and maybe possibly Carlos Baleba? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching up until this moment. See you on the next one.